Lauren from Wildflowers, and today I'm going to show you how to do a backfill on a glitter gel nail.
I'm going to start off by removing the old gel with a cross-cut carbide. It's extra coarse and has a dull edge from the manufacturer. As you can see, I can even put it on high speed on my skin and it won't hurt me. Make sure you wear your protective eyewear. Hard gel is very easy to remove. It's only going to take a few swipes down the nail with very, very little pressure and the product will be removed. The dust from the hard gel is really harmful, so you definitely want some type of dust suction. I definitely prefer to remove the majority of the product so that I can see the foundation of the nail and take care of any lifting or any issues that the nail may have that could cause problems for their new set. And now I'm going to come in with a prepper bit. This bit is specifically made for the natural nail. It is a diamond bit. It's sort of like metal sandpaper and it's used on a very low speed and won't harm the natural nail. It's much softer than a harsh sanding band. I'm going to use a spoon pusher to push back the eponychium, which is the skin surrounding the nail. And next I'm going to use that prepper bit and I'm going to remove the cuticle, which is the white crusty stuff that's laying on the nail plate. This bit is also awesome for removing any little bits of lifting that I missed the first time around and for taking the shine off the nail. Once you've finished all 10 nails, you can go ahead and wipe them with whatever the manufacturer recommends to prepare for the product. And there we go. It's also nice to be a good friend and nip any hangnails that the customer may have. I'm going to start off with my bonding agent recommended by the manufacturer, and then I'm going to do my base gel. Every company is a little bit different, so all you have to do is read the manufacturer's instructions and do it exactly the way they say. That's always the best way to do things. So I'm getting my brushes ready. I'm going to be working with a dry brush and my gel brush. So I just brought the finger out of the light. We froze the base coat, and now I'm going to build up the cuticle area just slightly. This will help so that the nail doesn't get too hot when I go to encapsulate it later. And I'm feathering it down the nail to keep the edge thin. So I'm building by the cuticle and keeping that free edge nice and thin. And now I'm going to prepare a little bit more clear gel, and I'm going to put what I like to call a nice little fluffy layer out on the free edge of the nail. It's not too thick, it's not too thin, it's just enough to press that glitter into so that it sticks perfectly and we have enough gel to freeze that glitter into place. I'm going to use my dry brush. I'm going to scoop it up and just sort of dump it onto the free edge. I'm going to wait till I have the nail pretty much covered before I start pressing and patting. So now I'm able to feather it up to create a nice soft fade and press that glitter down flat with my brush. If the brush ever starts to get gummy or full of glitter, you can always wipe it out with a little bit of alcohol. So I'm just going to freeze this into place quickly. Bring it back out, and I'm going to create some little spider webs by touching in a zigzag pattern. You'll see the little strings of gel going back and forth. I'm setting up just enough to set these big pieces of glitter and paillettes and the mylar and the stars. Everything that I want to encapsulate in this nail is going to stick into those little spider webs I made. And the cool thing about gel is you can move it around until it's just perfect. So I like the way this looks. I'm going to go ahead and freeze it quickly. And now comes the fun part, encapsulating. Look at the glob of gel that I'm going to use to do this. I'm going to place it down and just start working it up around the cuticle area. I'm going to encapsulate this entire nail with this crystal clear gel, and it's going to end up looking like glass when it's finished. Doing this depends on the viscosity of the gel. If you have a runny gel, you don't want to do this in one step. You maybe want to do this in a couple thin coats. If you have a gel that's a little more firm that you can control well, you can do it in one coat. Looking from the side, it's still flat, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull some of that gel up to create an apex. Much better. I'm going to cure that for the time the manufacturer recommends, and then I'm going to wipe it and we're ready to finish file. I'm going to do my finished filing with a Z-Cut Carbide medium. And again, the edge is dull on this so that I don't cut my client or myself. You can see I'm just going to be using light pressure. I'm going to start by working up around the cuticle area. Very, very light pressure. There's barely any product up there. Over in this corner, the gel hit the skin a tiny bit. So I'm going to work very carefully to pull back her skin and just reduce that as much as possible. And then I'm going to have to go back and hit it with my hand file to make sure that absolutely nothing is touching her skin. So I'm working my way around. I'm going to turn the nail so that I can see the apex that I'm creating. You have to turn the nail so you can actually see what you're doing. And the nail's starting to shape up and look pretty good. I'm just blending these sides into that apex that I created. I'm going to cut my free edge to make it the length and the shape that I want. We're doing sort of a beveled shape on this nail. I'm going to turn it around and clean out underneath, make sure that's nice and clean, and you can see as I turn the nail up the thickness. It's a nice even thickness. If there's anything I need to tweak, I can spin it around and thin out my edge a little bit. I'm going to grab my hand file, start on the side, and then make sure I turn it to see when I'm filing that edge. You want to see what you're doing over on those sides. I'm going to work over around the edge. This is where I touch the skin just slightly with that gel. So I'm going to come in there and work very gently to make sure that that's blended and that it's no longer touching that skin. All better. I'm just going to work around with my buffer, make sure we're nice and smooth. I'm going to clean the dust off the nail and check it out. And here's the best part, the gel top coat. Most importantly, do not hit the skin or the cuticle with that gel because it'll cause the whole entire nail to lift. All of that work. Don't do it. I'm going to cap my free edge and send it into the light, and that's all finished.